Today, we're going to be attempting to game on a broken phone that I found on eBay. I hate seeing old tech turn into e-waste, and with repair costs so high for phones nowadays, sometimes it just doesn't make sense to repair them. However, we don't care what's on the outside, we care about the components inside, and how far we can push them to give this phone a complete new lease of life and turn this broken phone into a gaming machine. We're going to be sourcing one on eBay, seeing if we got scammed or not, and pushing it to the absolute limits to see how we can game on it.
Alright, so let's look for a broken Samsung phone that we can turn into a gaming PC. The first place I'm going to look is eBay. I don't really trust dodgy Facebook Marketplace sellers, so let's just go ahead and type in Samsung phone, and then if we filter it by condition for parts or not working. So we've got an S23 Ultra, green, no display, back, cracked, faulty phone. Okay, so it's got a cracked front, cracked back. Does it actually work? Display doesn't work, back is missing, and has FRP issues. So we definitely don't want a job lot of phones because that's just way too many for what we need. We literally just need one. We need one ideally with a cracked screen that we can still somewhat use. It needs to not have a lock on it. The most important thing is it should not, and I repeat, should not have an Exynos processor. Exynos processor is not very good for gaming. In my original phone into gaming PC video, I used the Galaxy S23, which had an Exynos chip in it, and yeah, it's just not good for gaming. It's especially a pain for emulation, and it just gets really hot, and it's just not as good as Snapdragon processors. Now, unfortunately, since I'm in the UK, in the European market, pretty much all Galaxy S phones are going to have the Exynos chip in them, and it's a real minefield weeding out international models versus European ones. We don't want any A-series Samsung phones. We've been there, done that. So I think ideally we're going to try and filter it here for just Galaxy S-series phones. I think those are probably going to be our best bets. I mean, look at that. That's definitely going to run loads of games on. We've got an S22 Ultra here, which is damaged. Pretty good price, but I don't think that's going to work because if it's in a constant boot loop, there's no way we're going to be able to turn that into a gaming PC. We've got an S22 here, which looks decent, but I'm pretty sure the S22 has the Exynos chip. This looks perfect. So it's got a cracked screen and some like black splotches on it, black marks, but the screen is still usable, which is good. So that means I can go on it, set it up initially, and then we can gut it and turn it into a PC. Now, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure in the S23 series, we got Snapdragon processors across the board in every market. So I think actually the S23 might be our best bet here. Oh, okay. So we've got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 in the S23. Yeah, that would be perfect. Actually, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and get this one. See if we can make him a cheeky offer. See if we can get it for less. Yeah, wish me luck. Let's go ahead and buy it. So I went ahead and bought it, and a few days later, it arrived. All right, so it's been a few days and the phone has finally arrived. So let's see what we've got in this mysterious package. It's in cardboard, which is a good sign. It's not just a phone in the bag. Let's hope we didn't get scammed here. All right, and here it is, the phone itself, wrapped in a plastic bag. So overall condition, it's not the best really. Lots of chips and stuff on the sides, missing SIM tray. The front, we can see straight away there's a crack here. And then the back, it's not too bad actually. So let's power it on and see if there's any life in it. And there is. So yeah, I can just see this flickering sort of green lime here at the top where the crack is, which isn't great. But I mean, as long as the screen's semi-functional, I don't think that should be too much of a big deal. This screen is actually getting worse. Look at it. The lines are constantly flickering, but at least it's usable. Wow, there's literally no control center because I can't tap here. Do the cameras work? Okay, the rear camera works. And the front camera actually works. So it is literally just a faulty screen. But we've managed to install CPU Z. So if we open it up, yes! Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, 3.36 gigahertz. Yes, we've nailed that. So we've got the CPU nailed, we've got the phone. Let's just make sure DeX is enabled just in case the screen does fail on us. Auto start. Let's go get testing. So let's plug it into my setup and see what happens. Okay, so USB-C in, connected. But the phone wasn't doing anything and not showing any signs of life on my monitor. However, that's when I discovered I haven't got the monitor plugged in. So I got the monitor plugged in and then, yeah, it's working. Everything's working just as I'd expect. The screen and the overall condition of the phone may not be good, But what we've got internally is really good. Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, Samsung DeX support. What more could you want? Well, a working screen would be nice for a start, and things were starting to go wrong. Sometimes the display actually ghosts. It's really weird. I've never seen anything like it before. I'm not sure if this display is going to give up on us before we even get started. Things were going from bad to worse because the more I used the phone, the more the screen started to fail. It started flashing white, bright colours. Oh no, it's getting worse. I couldn't use the phone screen whatsoever, and then it died. The screen was completely black and unusable. I'm so glad that we got Samsung DeX set up on here pretty much as soon as possible, because now the phone is pretty much useless, but it is still working when we connect to keyboard, mouse and monitor. Right, so here it is. This is the setup. We've got the broken phone connected to the monitor, keyboard and mouse. Now, unfortunately, we've had to take the back off the phone. The main reason for that is there's actually no way to shut down or restart the phone through Samsung DeX. So the only way I've been doing it is basically just disconnecting and reconnecting the battery. It's not ideal, but it does the job. And obviously, because our screen doesn't work, we can't do much with that either. Let's try some games. Right, so the first game we've got is Minecraft Bedrock Edition, which is just a standard mobile game. So this should run no problem on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. But how well will it run on Samsung DeX? That is the question. All right, and here we are on Minecraft. It's a bit laggy, just as we're sort of loading in chunks here. It's a little bit stuttery, but we have got vibrant visuals on, which is nice, makes the game look really good, and it's also a little bit more challenging for the phone as well. So yeah, this honestly, it feels like we're kind of locked at 30. It's not the smoothest whatsoever, and if you're watching in 60 FPS, you'll probably be able to tell as well that it's not the smoothest. But that could just be because of our video settings. I mean, look at this. We've got pretty much everything. I mean, the render distance is on 12 chunks, so we could definitely do with turning that down to maybe 6 or so. And then maybe we'll change the vibrant visuals, which we have to do in the main menu, which is annoying. So Bedrock Edition quirk. So if we go onto here, go onto fancy, you can actually lock your frames here, but we'll just leave it on unlimited. So I'll turn off clouds because I don't really like them. And so let's try that. Oh, that is much better. So no longer are we on like really choppy 30 FPS. This feels much more smooth, like sort of 60 FPS or so. So yeah, this is definitely playable. Obviously, you've got to turn off those vibrant visuals and put the render distance down to about 6, but it's fine, you know, you can see far enough, I suppose. Yeah, this feels so much smoother. So yeah, I don't know whether it just caps you. I'm pretty sure we got 60 FPS with vibrant visuals on the S23 Ultra. So I suppose it's just an old phone sort of quirk. I can't get an FPS counter or anything like that on screen. I know everyone always asks me, but it's just not possible when you're running Samsung DeX. You can do it on the actual phone screen itself, but we don't really have a phone screen right now. Anyway, let's move on to something more challenging, Minecraft Java. Right, here we go. So yeah, for some reason on Xalith Launcher, my mouse sensitivity goes really slow. I don't know what it is, and it only seems to really happen on Samsung DeX. But here we go. Let's load in. Right, here we go. Minecraft Java Edition running on the S23 through Xalith Launcher. So we're on version 26.1.2, which is the latest version of the game at the time of recording. And as you can see from the right in the middle of your screen on my crosshair, this is the FPS we're currently running at. Now we do have Sodium installed, which I'll show you the video settings of. As you can see, 5 chunks, pretty low honestly in terms of video settings. I mean, we could maybe go lower. I have actually allocated 4 GB of RAM to this game, and we've got about 6 I think in this phone. Okay, here we go. We're breaking 100 frames now on like 2 render distance. It's not the best really, but bear in mind this is a game for computers. Phones aren't really meant to be running a game like this, but the fact we're doing this even at all is pretty impressive. In full screen, playing pretty much just like I would on PC. But for now, this is kind of what we can get on the latest version of Minecraft Java with Sodium, and it's not great really, but For a phone, it's respectable for sure. Right, the next game we've got is a new one. It's called Destiny Rising, and this is actually a mobile game, but it actually supports keyboard and mouse, which, as you know, I appreciate that. And so yeah, here it is. We're playing Destiny Rising. Now again, just like on Minecraft Bedrock, I can't get a performance counter or anything on screen. I probably could if we were playing with the mobile screen, but since we're on Samsung DeX, it kind of stops us doing any of that. But yeah, we're on like pretty high video settings, I think, for this game as well. If we go into the graphics settings here, we're on graphics mode quality, rendering quality ultra, frame rate standard. I think we're kind of locked on that. We can't go any higher. So we're on pretty high video settings. I mean, my mouse doesn't really move that quickly in this game. So I suppose, to be honest, if I'm not looking around too much, it doesn't actually feel that choppy. All we're doing really here is just shooting. So it's not too bad. Now we could put down the video settings, which I'm probably going to do in a minute, and see what we can get then. Right, let's go on performance graphics mode, rendering quality high, frame rate high, see if this is any better. Well, it's not making me any better at the game. I'd say it feels about the same, honestly. I think that's just the thing with mobile stuff. I think this is the problem with mobile games. They're always going to be sort of capped. I don't think you can really do much else. So let's move on to something else. Right, so here we are playing some Fortnite on our S23. So currently we're on about, okay, 60 FPS. That's not too bad, actually. We've got the auto preset on Epic, I believe, so that's not too bad actually, but we are getting lag spikes, quite a lot of them. So even though it might be smooth now, it might not be in a few minutes. Yeah, this isn't really playable, to be honest, with lag spikes like that. Right, go on then, let's put our quality down then. Let's see if we can go on to medium maybe. Okay, so we're back on medium settings this time. And we're still getting lag spikes. I don't know what it is. The quality doesn't look that good, but that's to be expected. We've thrown down our settings, but we're still getting lag spikes. What is going on this phone? But who knows? Maybe when we finally turn this into a mini PC, we might be able to improve the cooling, and we might be able to get less sort of throttling performance. It might be a bit more consistent. I don't know. Phone's still getting pretty hot, but I mean, the worst is still yet to come, because we're going to be trying out some PC games on this thing and seeing how it will run. Right, let's go ahead and open up Winlator. Now, I would use Game Native and all the other new apps that we have now. Because this chip's been out for so long now, I think Winlator is probably our best bet for emulating PC games on the S23. So, I've gone ahead and installed just the usual really, but we'll try some Fallout 3 first, which I've gone ahead and installed. So, unlike with the S26 Ultra, where I had loads of driver incompatibilities, games didn't work, or they didn't work at the optimal performance, I think we should have no problems with the S23. So let's go ahead and load up Fallout 3, get my controller and see how it runs. Okay, here we are. So honestly, this is probably the best I've ever seen Fallout 3 run. Now, I used to do this test on like the S24 and the S20 original version, S20. I think it's on set to high, which I was a bit nervous about. I thought, oh no, PC game on a phone, it's not going to work, it's going to crash. But actually, it's done a pretty good job and it's running quite well. Fallout's not really the most challenging game in the world. So let's move on and try something a little bit more challenging. Of course, it's like tradition at this point. We've got to run GTA 5 on a phone. Whatever phone it is, we try and run it. So let's give it a go and see what it's like. I don't want to speak too soon, but I think honestly this is running better than the S26. Like, we've had no driver issues, no weird crashes or graphical like glitches. It's just been working perfectly. I haven't actually had to do any messing around with the settings. This is just run natively off the latest version of Winlator, which is really good. And it's one of the main sort of advantages, I suppose, of using an older broken phone, is that driver support is just going to be there from the get-go. Okay, we're getting a bit of choppiness now. Yeah, so definitely it's a lot more choppy once you get into this sort of scene, and probably driving scenes as well are probably going to be a bit challenging, but hopefully it'll be better. What the hell, I don't even have a gun. Where's my gun? But yeah, so we will see in part 2 what we can do with GTA. Maybe we can try some different scenes. Maybe a cooler might help. I don't know. We'll have to see. So another game I've managed to get running on here is Resident Evil. And actually, my FPS counter finally works. So in the other games, it wouldn't show up for some reason, but in this game, it does. And as you can see, we're on like 18 FPS. It's not the best really, and this is quite an old game as well. I remember when this first came out, and I mean, we're running it on a phone, so that's pretty good. I believe we're on high settings. I think it automatically set us to that. Yeah, as you can see here, we're set to high, so let's go ahead and put it to low maybe. Right, there we go. We're on low settings now, and I don't really think it's made much of a difference. If you see our frames on the top left, still got 18 frames, which is not great really. Well, the cutscenes, they go spike up to 60, so that's a bit odd. So